Need one?
Thank you.
Okay, raise your hand up, plenty in the bag.
It's good.
Oh, I got good pens in my bag. Oh, thank you. They're probably that, they are.
We get a whole thing at one time.
I was gonna share with her with these. If she wants, yours, Jeff.
That's what it is.
We're live, just to let you know.
Oh,
Already. Oh. All right.
I guess we got a few seconds left. Right, it's Mike.
I'd like to call to order Mayor and Council work session and regular meeting for Tuesday, April 14th, 2026 in the Worcester County Government Center Boardroom, room 1102. We take a look at our agenda. At this time, we will begin with a budget work session with the finance staff attending. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to the council.
I think we should start where we
Left off?
No.
Okay, where was that?
so last time we talked about, we went over revenues. And we also went over the administration and planning and zoning. I think questions were asked and answered at the time. We left with clear understanding of that. Of course, we could recap that, but we were going on to the police department.
I asked you for the information.
What-
I don't think I know.
You asked for the meet, but you never
I
wanted to.
asked you the four,
You did.
for the four. We have this cost for the.
You did. I, yeah, about that, but I'm going exactly to that. My apologies.
I think you wrote it down.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
Don't you follow up on your notes?
I do,
Okay.
but unfortunately, there it goes right there.
Where are we starting now?
Police.
Now refresh my memory again with this setup that you said with your thoughts about how you did page for page.
On these.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. So these, each page is a account line for each department. It does have what they are budgeted to have to under those lines. The idea is for them, this is what they have a digital copy, is for them to keep track. It's to enter and track their spending.
Okay.
And what it does, they have an estimated cost, and then they have the actual cost lines, so they can basically plan out their next budgets year over year. To past budgets. Because it's different when you see the expense report will have a total. This gives them the opportunity to see it as a general ledger of their own.
If I didn't say it last time, good job on doing the hard work. This is gonna really be, it's gonna show a lot of difference and make them aware. Alright. Oh, yeah.
No question. It's on line 7998. Police miscellaneous. The numbers there go from $92,000 to $23, $500 to $62,000.
Is that- Yeah, so what that is, it is basically a home we use when the department has a grant.
Okay.
Well, they'll have a grant, which is, they have to spend it, and then after it's spent, they receive the funding. So we usually put it in there, and then, to a budget amendment to compensate for the difference.
Okay.
If you turn to the department part where it says police, it'll actually show you some of those that you're asking. As explanation. See,
Yeah, see it right there. All right.
What line, where is the unit for the rent for the headquarters?
The 7248. 7248 police building release.
and you see the increase, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
You see the increase because they didn't actually go in the building at the beginning of the year. This will be for a whole year, right? Am I correct?
Yes and no. So there is a slight increase because for what you're saying, they went in there, I believe it was August instead of July. So we're a month and a half behind. But per their leaks, there is a 3% increase year over year.
That's each year.
Yeah.
That's the length of that contract.
The length of the contract, which I believe is three years.
And then what was it, 3 years, and then after that, year to year, or what was after the 3 years?
I don't think there's nothing planned for after the 3 years. It was just 3-year lease.
Yeah, we would need to renegotiate for that if we
Renegotiate.
wanted to continue with these, or if we were in a position to. I mean, there's been some talk about offering it for sale, or something to be considered, we want to get that started. You know, well before the time expires, to have a plan.
That's what comes up for me. I remember, if I'm correct, that going that period, we had said that it's okay, but we can't wait. It's a 3-year lease. We need to start talking now about what we're gonna do.
We start going in December.
Well, yeah, I feel.
Yeah, we understood that 3 years is not, it's a time that passes very quickly without notice, so conversations happen early and still continue. We're just hoping for a positive outcome, hopefully before their contract, so.
The questions for folks.
All's good.
Anybody else?
Oh,
Good. Okay.
I think I told you 3%, I see the fire department.
Fire department's next? Okay.
I want to keep it in order, so we just go pretty through, or it's just any other questions that may come up later. That's what it is. Let's say I can cut the fire department a little shorter for you.
Mhm.
Based on our budget, I know we hope to just get them to offer the same amount that we had. The only change that there was, well, our fire hall got sold, so our utilities reduced. So I had to pass that money on. On heating the building or electricity, so that was a pretty much a savings of an account that was about $5,000.
What is the county pass through estimate? That's like, it's 8773. It's 7998, yeah.
The 83, yeah. It's funny that, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, it's funny that the county gives to the town.
Okay.
That goes directly to the fire department.
That's 7105, 7998 is blank.
Okay.
So say that again about the fire department and this fire. The utility, it was sold and we're what?
Legally, we were still paying utilities for the fire law, the electric bill, and the gas bill.
So that would be under this
It
fire?
was, it was always on there so they could see it. It really wasn't a fire completely and in town hall. Counts that all.
Yeah. Within the difference of the expense that was now
So,
gone. I'd like to talk about my reduce some expenditure.
Yes.
Things don't range on my purpose.
Always good news, right?
But it's not off our expense yet, right? Cause we done our
Right.
paperwork for the firehouse?
21st, we go to some. The small.
But for this year, we should not pay anything.
Well, we are, cause the light that's on every day.
What, it's-
No, next
year.
Look, I tell you, I cannot, I know that we working on a budget for next year, but I can't get 26 out of my mind. And I keep looking at this every time I look at the book. That's what I'm saying. Why has it got 27? But it's okay. So it's been a long day. for me.
Yes,
Please
yeah,
excuse me.
I think it's been a long day.
Hot.
It's been hot.
And I'm fine with the fire department.
Just for context, if I could, we've, council has made a decision that we're going to apply water meters for every place in town that uses water that is not currently metered. So the fire department does not have a meter. We will be putting a meter in. There's no suggestion that we're gonna start billing them for the water. We will be able to track their water usage, and there's a value to that, to them. And in addition to the cash that you're providing through this budget, we'll also be able to say, well, here's a, call it in kind or whatever you like, it's a bill they don't have to pay based on current arrangements. That adds to the value of our contribution to the fire company. So I think that would be an important number for them to see. That it's more than just the cash that comes out of here.
Yeah, so we have a new chief and a new president of the fire company, and their conversations, they're learning this as they go also. And, they're very appreciative that, they're getting free water from the town. Now, we did find out that all the churches have meters. Didn't realize that, but that all the churches, Randy went out and checked, all the churches do have meters. Okay, you good?
The other one,
Fire company, the fire department?
now we can get into streets. Set it up.
What?
Set the-
This is a good one.
That's all new.
So I understand that we broke a craft truck broke yesterday.
It was today.
Yeah. 15,000 for the vehicle maintenance.
It's funny, I'm not only laugh when I had got to work, I got to the office, and they were outside on the truck, probably like 5 guys. And all I could think of was that, Joe, how many people would take for the light bulb?
Saw them when they arrived.
Oh. So, something happened.
Yeah, something happened.
And came and said,
The compact.
yeah,
It's gonna eat up that whole 15,000 right there.
oh, yeah.
That's all them branches they were getting too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What?
I didn't know that
What?
happened.
What the trash.
About the trash truck?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I just saw
You gonna do that?
I just saw notice that trash was being picked up 2 different days.
Have you
But
been on-
I was gonna get on the horn tomorrow.
Over the bridge
Oh.
or anything? Here.
They got the little bridge.
They're planning to take it up.
Yeah, the little bridge.
We have a long truck that works. Like a long stuff, do we?
We have one.
We have one.
One,
So this is the new one that broke.
Old.
a whole one. Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Three.
Okay. That's the only one. Okay, yeah. I just, it's in the finish now.
Well, all things aren't made the same, so probably the olders last longer
That's
than
true.
the new ones too.
Streets. You know, change, a huge increase in utilities. Just the street lights around town are a big expense with that. But it's something that I have been trying to look into, continue to focus on. Friends are working with me, on that as well, so. I think we plan on trying to figure out, a means of method to either replace the bulbs, workers, they'll borrow power to replace the bulbs, so they will burn less power and reduce that bill. Like I was telling, Randy, if we can get that bill just be half, that's $60,000 savings on that. That's the street, that's the utility line, so. Yeah, I think I believe they all automatically come on at a certain time, and go off at a certain time.
So we're paying the water tower this year, right?
To be painted,
Yeah.
yes.
And there was a new tax that had us paint apparently. $1.25 per gallon. Paint tax. Yeah, went into effect April 1st.
You hear about that?
Yeah, it's good. It shows up on basically just in addition to the 6% sales tax.
Mhm.
So it goes by like, from half point up to gallon, 5 gallons.
Why the tax on?
Because
Yeah.
what they've done is they basically have a nonprofit that's going to come into and set up paint recycling in the state of Maryland, but they're not even licensed yet in Maryland as a nonprofit, but they're getting every cent to set up paint, recycling, destruction. State. It's called Paint Cares, I believe.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Did we sign that contract before April 1st?
I'm sitting here going.
I'm trying to think of the date.
They will.
Price, I mean, we've got a price.
That's good.
It was after. It was after April 1 that was done.
Oh, going back to the streetlights, so there is, Delmarva Power used to provide a free energy audit of streetlights, municipal streetlights.
Is that we had a contact with you, yeah.
Okay. Remind me more.
Will do.
We'll try another name.
Where is for the salaries, got the total amounts, and where's the break? For the individual.
How is breakdown?
Mm,
Then, I believe it's in
It's always.
the back.
Called back.
Yeah. The back. Divide it.
Department.
Yes.
Streets are 1252.
Yeah. 1.25.
Yes, it's $1.25, I believe, per gallon, and then at 5 gallons, it's like $2.25, I think.
What was it called? Paint what?
Paint tax.
Thanks.
The company
Tax on
called
everything.
Thank you.
Big Care.
So to dispose of.
Yeah.
That's a small boy. Your office.
Yeah. So they don't dump in the potato river.
The mosquito control, and that's what I keep forgetting to answer. I will ask. But I've never seen them spray them around for mosquito. I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, they did them last year, I think it's first July, I believe. I know when I lived in town, they came
Well, yeah,
for 8 and
but I don't
You don't hear
hear it. And yeah, I need to put that on my new.
I think they're doing once a year, probably coming
it wasn't there.
to state. Or the, yeah, state. Or the county.
It used to be county. It came to.
These here. And
No, we can explain it's a step process depending on your longevity here. You advance through the columns based on how long you're here. If you come in at a particular spot, then I think like after 1 year, there's a bump and then another.
Correct.
And it's the term between increases grows the longer you're here. Yeah.
and I'm still looking for the page. For the breakdown on the side.
Who on side she could. He must be, I think, was person.
Oh, was in here? No, okay. I have to get copies of that.
I'd like to see it.
That- Yes, I want to do it again.
And the salary.
I know what everybody's saying about the street department. Looks amazing. It does. Might have something to do with that, but just don't help.
He did do a good job. He will talk to me, but the festival expense, that's when chamber, right?
Oh, because, yeah, and it's also for Christmas, so what he really does, really usually buys everything at one time. So our budget was pretty much, same year over year. But if you look at it, you'll see spending, then a decrease, and then spending, and then a decrease. So I was like, hey, let's cut it down and have the same amount year over year. And it kind of makes it more even, and we can buy for purchase for certain events in 1 year and then the others in another year instead of trying to keep it all at one time. It also reduces the probable purchases of things that we probably won't need, you know.
Do you know what the two non-budgeted items were on line 72? 7,200.
Even on the worksheet,
That's right, yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
what is it?
Museum sidewalk
Yeah.
in front of the museum, Randy took under his budget line.
Yeah. That was one, something else.
7,200.
Yeah,
Is it
so,
listed there?
no, so within,
No, okay.
it's gonna be in 2026.
Okay.
So I didn't want to, we're at 28,000, but I didn't want to increase it too high. I knew that of the cost, we're seeing the cost of materials and the repairs that are get done, we're seeing an increase year over year. Which would, if those two items wasn't in there, it would have been an increase. It would have been like someone close to $40,000 instead of 32. But because he spent, and it was $4,000 he put towards the sidewalk. I know another $700 that he used to buy bricks, and it was the Sturgis Park. I think he said something about kids were going down there and taking,
Yeah.
They took it where-
Yeah. Mhm.
so that's, but, well,
Okay.
I'm here.
And that's what Travis created with these, because they put it on there. So I
Nice.
tried, like, anyway, looking through.
So because of those two things you won't see in this year's budget.
This year's
they
budget.
Reduce it from being $38,000 to $32,000.
In the streets, I guess you never know about that one. I didn't see where it had for the outside contractors when he uses them. Or would that be? Let's see.
There's lines that may have been used historically that now, if he's paying someone for a project, he's putting it under maintenance or instead of the contractual labor. They're not budgeting for that. Initially, I think it was because they were so short-handed, the public works staff, that they were literally using contractual
Oh,
people
Oh,
much more than they are now. Like, Conway Island at one point, I think, cut all the grass. So they had enough people to cut grass. As I recall. Again, I mean, I think it's changed at times, but.
Any other questions?
No.
Good? Okay. Marks?
And then just because I flipped the page and I saw it at the end of the streets, you'll see where the $130,000 was budgeted.
well, yeah, that's what look, I don't have both of mine out, so
So it's budgeted 26, and then once that transfer is made to the capital improvement budget, that's what that is. That you were asking about on the finance report. Basically, the capital budget was depleted. So to maintain these leases, cars and all the leases, we're trying to get some of the money by putting it in the operating budget.
It's up to all.
Oh, that breaks down. Yeah.
I got on Randy about, the utilities. I think part of that expense of it increasing for this budget, cause it's 2020, the 2026, you see it's almost already there to budget it on. Those lights in that park stay on 24/7. Bird Park I'm talking about. Then at nighttime, everything is lit. Under the pavilion, the ones outside, so it should be like once before we talked about it, and he said it was probably one of the, things in the electrical box that he needed to look at. But still, they're on 24/7.
So they be off during the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, at nighttime, you need either the light side, what would be smart is have the outside lights on, not the lights under the pavilion.
So the pole lights on.
No, they're not pole lights.
They're not pole?
It's lights like, if, say this, we're here, this is under the pavilion.
Oh, that's why.
All these lights are on.
You know about other things, wow, right?
And then on the no, it's lights on the top, the roof, on the outside. They're on. Mm-hmm. And remember the time I was asking you about, could you tell what the addresses was and the expense? And then you said some of them, when it says Bird Park Lane, it might be a different part.
Yeah.
In
Mhm.
the part, you couldn't tell exactly where it was.
Right,
So that's why I was really asking about that.
okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree, the pole lights, depending on the pavilions could be all.
That could save some,
Yeah.
that's why I always say every little penny makes a difference.
Clearly, this light shouldn't be on during the day,
No,
but is there a security issue at nighttime?
Probably no time.
Well, it should be
there,
for that.
It's a thing, it's always, it's a time to bid for.
Wonder what it would cost to put motion sensor lights under the pavilion, places like that, not out in the property, but in confined spaces like that.
Yeah, you know. But it's.
And that probably would make a difference on electric, really.
That would be. I don't wanna say that was there, but then I'll just take pants off. I'll look into that.
Well, it is some under there,
Sure.
cameras. It is, they are, and they should be, I mean, the way that cameras are nowadays, they should have enough light, you know, when it sees something, and it looks like your own security at home.
Well, definitely, if she motion sits or like it's on here, no.
You can check with chief.
Yeah.
Or as what he feels safe. For everything.
And another thing, I don't know if, I mean, we don't have a water meter out there, but the water is access to the water all the time. I brought that up in the fees and fines once about having, like, you could only, when you rented it, you could use the water. That could make a difference. I mean, and electricity, because people are going out there charging up everything. It is a public park, but most public parks don't have all that access. And
Wait, I'm sorry, I don't have both lights. I have both lights at Central Park. So there's a sink, there's like a sink access for water at the park,
it's a 2 pumps,
two pumps.
it may be more than 2 at each one of the, under the pavilions on the outside.
Cost, we can parking offset. So, yeah, budgeted, so, I mean, this. Getting those sensors, they probably get motion sensors in there or some. Lights that we were reducing the time, we put in timers to reduce usage in the day. The cost to get that done, we make sure it's done properly, to reduce the usage, and put that money back, instead of spending more money.
Right.
Definitely worth looking into. Yeah, close about the parks.
So capital improvement.
Capital improvements.
Using the phone parks.
See, yeah. it was-
Often in the grant, when it ends so done, it's done after the audit at the end of the year. I don't remember what that was. 62.
But wouldn't it? Parks last year. It was supposed to have been for the basketball, so wouldn't that
That's what I
It's
said.
in the capital budget line. This is the operating budget.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm confused. For capital improvement, that's.
These lines are initially in the operating budget because everything was running through the operating budget when the capital budget was, created, was to get these large expenses over here in this capital budget. And it was funded through reserve funds. But when we do a grant, depending on what, where, when, it's gonna go into the operating account. If the expenses are in the wherever the expenses are, we try and put the revenue with it. And that probably is an audit entry, that's $62,000. I don't, unless it was cameras or something in the parks, I can't remember what it was in 25. And of course, that's not usually budgeted. So this actual column doesn't mean it was budgeted. That's what the audited figures are there for 24 and 25.
Alrighty.
Alright, so next,
She's looking at the line item on your parks. We're still on parks, but there's a line item. Well, yeah, it's under the parks.
what museum? Next.
Welcome Center exhibit, 7446 in the same section. What is that? What is it?
BES, Black Eye Susan.
Okay.
You don't have it no more.
Yep, nice. Well. I'm so many apart.
So that completely worse.
Bye. You get a strike for that. Anybody that comes along here to town and give up with BES. Or either they want to forget it. Or to forget it. One or the other.
I would say under the museum, you just look at 7,200 and 7,445 grant that we utilize pay any expenses for the museum, electric, heat. See the huge increase there, the use over the past years. There hasn't been much change over the years. But we're seeing the expenses has, of course, gone up.
Well, yes.
So basically, there wasn't any additional spending. We did spend, we had to also put in 3,150 $3,150 went towards the sidewalks as well. So Randy would, it was very generous. We have to pay for everything. But, the improvements, I mean, just lumber alone has
Yeah.
skyrocketed. But we want to make sure that we have enough funding in there to support the expenses as the town has, graciously have done over there.
And there's no money for promotional brochures at the
Any,
board or anything like that.
anything for that, for marketing,
Yeah.
or that has to come from the museum. And of course, Tina's been doing a great job with on grants. She just got,
What, 10,000?
$10,000, so.
Yeah.
Good, right, in a great direction. Of course, got that happy young fellow, we, worked very hard.
And if I may, historically, I think there must have been, these are lines that have been in place on the sheet.
Yeah.
They were broken down, and then at one point, for grant purposes, a request was made to put it all on museum grant operations.
Okay.
So that goes the town was contributing as a whole to
Okay.
the supplies. And that's kind of was bundled in
Yeah.
that line.
Have we started receiving any restitution from Dr. Burke?
I won't see that for, till she gets out, whatever that will be.
It's 18 months.
Rick, have you heard anything about
No.
that?
Nothing other than, we understood that she contacted somebody thinking she was gonna get out early. So I don't know what she's facing now. We haven't been told. That's in the works.
But that won't start till she gets out.
Yes. I believe it's when she gets out 30 days, I think 3 days, see what happens, yes, they get a job. I'm sure there'll be other dilemmas that she had to agree to.
Yeah, we have to
So,
set it all up
yeah.
and what's going to be paid, et cetera.
Yeah, it's a process.
And that'll have to be part of a court order because a lot of the restitution goes back to the Friends of the Museum, but we put in damages as well in town hall, mainly for legal fees, but other things too.
Correct.
So hopefully we'll get a percentage of it.
So utilities phone, is that, you didn't do anything for
That's
that?
all in the
It's
grant.
just- Oh,
7445.
but even though grants are paying for it, is it a way that you could keep track of?
It's not an
How much?
actual,
Town grant.
it's a town.
Town grant.
That's the grant the town is giving to the museum.
Town giving them a grant to cover utilities.
Now the town is paying it, so yes, he absolutely can. Town is paying it. So the
So
town
that will
has
all be
taken back,
documented.
yes.
Yes.
I think that's I think that's something that should be seen, even though it's paid for a grant, through a grant, but it's still good to see. Because like every department or every place outside of just town hall, even town hall, it should be like, you see how much utilities are being. I know Wi-Fi, is different. Because that's like a subscription, but if you pay attention to your electric bills and stuff, I think sometimes it makes a difference. And some stuff in town hall, I will say is obsolete, and it could be taking more electricity than some other things.
So are you saying that the utilities should be broken down? Just utility, a line for utilities, a line for phones, a line for.
Yeah, something like that. Or, yeah. I think especially electricity period is just, the phones are electric, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah, depending
Well-
on that, but I just feel like the electric part would make a big difference.
so we can see that from a general ledger perspective. I think for that, from an accounting perspective, what you do it like that, if you break down every utility, then we're kind of almost getting into a business. So it's gonna be focused on one business. And that's gonna be more work, 'cause at the end, I combine all that, because there has to be a whole for utilities and account. It can't be different sections of utilities. So you can probably, but that's not a lot. So, there's a lot of work. But I see what you're saying, I understand, and so to view it, that would be an issue. I hold it up from a general ledger perspective, but I think just from a whole of looking at it, that would just be, it will kind of probably will make some confusion for them. Then all the auditors definitely will put it back together. I would have to put it back together just to keep it honest.
So when he prints that line 7445, it shows all on the general ledgers what he's saying, the on power.
Mhm.
And you can get that total that way. But if you want to use it for a purpose of, you know,
Yeah,
in the museum's case, that would be to run, make sure that they're aware of the utility bill.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what you're
Yeah.
saying,
Mhm.
being aware, being mindful of it.
Yeah.
now I would
Should
say,
help anybody better.
right, if it was like, it was something electrical, like, it was like lighting, we had lighting. We was getting lighting resources from different people, different companies, like we had GE and Hot Public Works, and, Demar Power and somebody else, and yeah, of course. That was, but it was like one, we only got Demar Power, the electric power. This utility, I wouldn't trade that.
No.
All right.
Questions? Yeah, good. Okay. All right. We're good. Exam. What's next on your
Just.
list?
Calls right there.
There,
It was a lot. It was a
I
lot.
mean, well, a lot, but I still think that water and, I'm just speaking hope. If everybody agrees, I think the water and sewer could bring up questions. But I think this,
Okay, so
Where are you going?
I think we're stopping, Calls right
it's,
there?
no, it's up to you. I'm just speaking for
Other
myself.
members of the council,
Calls over and go into the water.
Right.
it's 6:25. And we were gonna pause at 6:45, but if you wanna pause early, that's up to council.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
What did you say? Pause? You good
Yeah.
with that? Good? There's a request by, Mr. Lee
Yes.
about the 21st. Does council have any remarks about what exactly is your request?
it's a statement, it's a date.
Yeah, but everybody does, they don't change the date because of what?
There's another meeting that I believe, I know that I will participate in. I think it's relevant to what we're doing. Moving forward.
But I just want to, explain that Main Street, downtown Main Street does not give us any financial assistance. That there is no line item about Main Street giving money to town.
I understand.
The county is the one who gave us the money for the economic development position, not Main Street.
It's much more, as I read it, I could be wrong, but it's much more, there's a lot involved in that meeting that was taking place on the 21st. That as a legislator, as a council person, as a citizen, I think it would be extremely important. I don't speak for council, I speak for myself, to be there so that they can see for themselves and represent their opinions and their constituents in the conversation. If they're not interested, then they can say,
I thought it was a volunteer evening. The 21st. The subject, I asked last night, what are you doing on the 21st for downtown? And they said it was a volunteer get together, for Main Street.
all I'm saying is I would like to request to change the date, that one date, so that I can attend that meeting. It's important to me. I'm a constituent.
So council, what do you, the council, it's your meetings, so you give your opinion on that. It's something we've already set up, everybody scheduled it.
I think the budget takes precedence. Well,
That's at 6 o'clock anyway, so I sent out an earlier
Yes.
email of asking to change the time, only because I didn't know about that meeting, but the meeting that we were going over the budget, and I asked, could we do it at 7 o'clock, because I had a prior occasion. That has changed.
Changed.
That's the only reason why I said change the time.
So we could go back to 5 is what you're saying?
Go back to 5, we can leave it at 6, if that meeting starts at 5,
I think that meeting starts at 6.
huh?
That meeting starts at 6.
Oh, it starts at 6.
But both meetings start at 6
Oh,
hours in downtown.
I'm sorry, I didn't read the right thing then. Because I thought that one started at.
But you're
5.
available now at 5 that day.
Yes,
So you want to meet from 5 to 6? Would that work for you?
that's fine.
Or would you, are you good with that?
I'm good at 5.
Mr. Lee?
If we change it, I would say that to make it 5 to 5:45. I don't want to get there late.
I think from 5 to 5:45, we can go to the work department and, lot 28. Sewer, so that day.
Okay, is that good?
5:45 will work, and talk about the water department, from 5 to 5:45, we'll work out, go over the water department, revenues and expenses,
Mhm.
and within that time frame, I think that is suitable.
We have the public presentation on the budget is the 28th. After that meeting, we still have a capital budget. And trying to be perfectly fine, but I will not be available this up. So that's your last meeting before it's presented for the second reading.
For second reading?
Yes.
Yes, so we do we have a deadline.
Yeah.
And we need to meet that deadline.
21st, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
When is the public hearing advertised for the classes?
5.
5. So we can start with the public hearing at 5 and then move into the sewer budget discussion afterwards.
And it's after, well, that's good.
Yeah.
And we have the capital.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then what would you need on the
That is what I'm saying.
wrap up?
So now, what do you, the 21st, if you're doing the 21st, you're doing water, and the 28th, you're doing sewer. That's it, for the 7th.
Right.
You don't have the capital budget, right? On the 7th.
And 7 on capital.
I don't know, unless you can finish it.
And that's it, let's get
28.
it, can we
You
finish
may,
one
you can
day?
try on the 28th.
It's hard to tell how much,
how much time you need,
testimony you're gonna get at the public hearing.
Public hearing.
It might be 10 minutes, it might be half an hour.
right?
That's good, it's after, I was thinking it was budget first and then the public hearing. It's good that's the other way.
so the public is what time?
28th.
It's, yes, 28th.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
What time do you take?
Okay, do we need a motion to recess?
There's maybe.
I make a motion to recess.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Break for recess.
Start.